Raiders can't maintain lead against Pittsburgh Steelers in gritty match. The Las Vegas Raiders had a tough loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Saturday night. It's always disappointing to come up short, especially when you feel like you played well enough to win. Although, the Raiders had a bit of an advantage for much of the game and managed to hold onto the lead, which is no small feat. It takes discipline and determination to play clean football and avoid costly penalties, and it looks like the Raiders were able to do that, committing only 2 penalties for 20 yards. The defense also played a key role in keeping the Steelers at bay, registering 4 quarterback hits and making it difficult for the Steelers offense to sustain drives. But things took a turn in the second half, with some critical mistakes and injuries proving costly for the Raiders. It's always tough when you lose key players, especially guys like Pro Bowlers Chandler Jones and Denzel Perryman. The defense did their best to keep the Steelers out of the end zone, despite those losses. And unfortunately, it just wasn't enough in the end. The Steelers ended up scoring a touchdown in the final minutes of the game to take the lead, and the Raiders weren't able to come back. The Raiders quarterback Derek Carr had a bit of a rough game, too. It's never easy when you throw 3 interceptions and get sacked 3 times. And it sounds like running back Josh Jacobs and wide receiver Davante Adams had some difficulty, too. Jacobs was limited to 44 rushing yards on 15 carries, and Adams had just 2 catches for 15 yards. It's always tough when you're not able to make the most of your opportunities, especially in a close game where every play can make a difference. But it's important to remember that football is a team sport, and it takes everyone working together to succeed. It sounds like the Raiders gave it their all on Saturday night, but unfortunately, they just came up short. It's always disappointing to fall short of your goals, especially when you feel like you put in the work and gave it your all. But it's important to remember that the road to success isn't always easy, and there will be setbacks along the way. The key is to learn from those setbacks and use them as opportunities to grow and improve. So while it's certainly disappointing to lose a game like this, it's important for the Raiders to focus on the things they did well and the areas where they can improve. They played clean football and took care of the ball for the most part, and that's always a good foundation to build on. And the defense played well, too, making it difficult for the Steelers' offense to sustain drives and get into the end zone. Those are all positives that the Raiders can take with them as they move forward. At the same time, it's important for the Raiders to identify the areas where they struggled and work on correcting those mistakes. Whether it's the quarterback getting sacked too often, the running game not being as effective as it could be, or the wide receivers not making enough plays, it's important to identify. Sensitivity, public. Those areas and work on improving them. That's the only way to get better and to put yourself in a position to win games like this. The Raiders have to stay focused and keep working hard. They've got 2 more games left in the season, and they'll have the chance to finish strong and end on a high note. It won't be easy, but it's important to keep fighting and to keep working hard. The Raiders have a talented team and the potential to succeed, and it's up to them to make the most of their opportunities.